Happy Sunday Fun Day.
I don't know what days are anymore.
Yeah, days don't really matter at this point anymore.
No.
So what did we just watch? GoPro. It was a GoPro video.
I actually don't even know what it was called.
Running Ridges with Killian Jornett.
Killian Jornett.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah. It was what, like 3 minutes, 40 seconds?
It was 3 minutes and 40 seconds long.
It was all shot
pretty
on
much
GoPro,
every second you were just like, what?
Yeah.
That guy's going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you call that a film?
Yeah.
I'd call that a film.
Yeah. Even if there wasn't
3 minutes,
like
40 seconds.
a lot of cinematic effort into it, just the fact that he filmed himself doing something insane.
Yeah.
Is way more, like what he did, just holding a GoPro, is way harder than making like a cinematic shot on the ground,
totally.
right?
Making a GoPro shot look like something crazy. Like if you can take it, because I know from just my experience shooting on GoPro, it never captures how crazy it is in real life.
No.
But if you can make it look crazy on a GoPro, then you know it's pretty crazy.
And like the fact that you could have literally died at any moment.
Yeah. Yeah,
literally any moment he could have just tripped, stepped on a loose rock.
So basically, I guess what he's doing, like, what is he doing? He's just
he was in Norway.
running.
So I've seen a few of this guy's videos, and he does this all the time. He lives in Norway, so there's like all the fjords and the mountains. So he starts at the fjord.
Yeah.
He starts down. He runs to a ridge.
Yeah.
And then he just follows the ridge.
Right.
But he doesn't just go for like an hour. He'll go for like 3 days.
That's insane.
Like he doesn't take tents. He doesn't he like maybe will sleep for an hour or two each night just to like get a little bit of rest, but he just goes until he like basically his legs are like, yo, this isn't working anymore. So he basically does ultra marathons on ridges of mountains in Norway. Just by himself though.
Yeah.
It's not like a race.
Yeah.
He's just like out for an adventure.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then like one of the other videos I watched, he did the same thing, and like his girlfriend or wife or whoever it was, like just met him at the last ridge.
Yeah.
And he just looked fine, but he just ran for like 3 days.
Yeah. Trail running is definitely such a different thing.
That's not even trail running though. That's a ridge.
Yeah.
Like he's literally climbing over rocks.
Yeah.
And each side he has like maybe
but
like
compared to road running, it's more on the trail running side.
Oh yeah, it's closer to trail running.
To me, I find that really interesting how different trail running is from road running.
Oh, it's not even the same thing.
It's completely different.
It's like
it's completely different.
Endurance, obviously, and like running and everything, but definitely, I mean, trail running can be pretty easy if you're just doing like a flat groomed trails and whatever. But if you're like backcountry trail running, where you're legitimately kind of just like, there's either a very small trail that's only for runners or like goat trails or something.
Yeah.
That's when it gets like actually hardcore and like a little bit dangerous. But this guy's running on like meter wide, maybe 2 meter wide ridges, and both sides are like 90-degree drops that looked like hundreds and hundreds of feet.
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely
that's
super
the next
crazy.
level of trail running.
Yeah. Like, first question, how did this film relate to you?
I want to do that. Maybe not to that craziness. Just like running ridges would be so much fun.
Yeah,
I do really resonate with like not that I do it, but just the want to be able to go as far as you possibly can on foot.
Yeah,
and just being able to do that in something as like scenic as a mountain range would be sweet.
It just seems like like when I think of road running, it's sort of just the ability to push yourself for like as long as you can go.
Yeah.
And you can sort of get into a mindset where you're not really thinking about the running itself. But then when I see stuff like that, every step is mental exhausting mentally.
You can't just turn the brain off and do step.
Yeah, road running, it's like you know it's going to be flat. You don't have to think about it step. Yeah. But stuff like that, you have to be watching where you're stepping.
Engaged the entire time.
Your foot's landing at different angles all the time. It's probably so hard on your ankles.
Definitely with like footwear.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing because when I run in barefoot shoes, and I was looking up the other day, I'm like, I know you can do that stuff in barefoot shoes, but are you going to fuck up your foot?
Yeah.
Because there's so many rocks, and like it is just like an equipment thing, and it doesn't really matter. In like a really long run, it won't really matter. But it's just, it's crazy that it's one of those things that most people wouldn't even think of doing or even try doing or even be able to do. And some people like him just...
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, I had an interesting thought yesterday because I was thinking about your barefoot shoes, and there's like no cushioning or anything in them. Like they're super minimal.
Yeah, there's like
pretty much completely minimal.
There's like maybe like that much between my foot.
And I've heard people talk about like why, like there's a big debate out there of like why it's better to run in minimalist shoes or not. But then I was thinking about it, and even what you're experiencing with like your heel, you think maybe you have stress fractures or something. There's a bit of pain down there.
It's on my heel. It's like the side of my foot.
Yeah. So I was thinking about that, and I was just thinking of, you know, you think of going for long distance runs and how much your feet are like slamming into the pavement.
Yeah.
And if you have no cushioning there.
Yeah. So that's kind of.
It definitely seems like it's more damaging in that sense.
I definitely
But I understand the whole like gait movement and the natural movement of your foot and the mechanics of it. It's like such a.
I definitely think
toss-up.
They're more meant for trails.
Yeah,
like,
you think so?
Well, I mean, because the whole thing about barefoot shoes is running naturally, right? It's like to get you to run how you're naturally supposed to run and make your feet stronger and all that thing. Roads aren't natural.
Right.
We're not built to run on pavement. Like we're not meant we're not meant for that. We're meant to run on grass and dirt and forests and sand. Like that's what we're designed to do biologically and like evolutionary wise. So roads aren't really natural.
Right.
And that's debatably why they put cushions in shoes is because when running was becoming a big thing, people were running on roads.
Yeah.
Right? And people were hurting themselves because they were running on roads all the time. So it kind of like, I mean, I'm pretty sure this isn't just my theory. I'm pretty sure it's also like talked about in the running world. It's like you're not really supposed to run barefoot with barefoot shoes on roads.
Right.
And
because of that impact and that
hardness. So like whenever I do run on roads, I try to like run on the side of the road.
That's what I started doing. Yeah,
where it's because like
it's
even
like on the shoulder where it's just grass or maybe gravel.
And that's why trail running is so good is because it works every part.
So many more muscles.
Yeah, because when you're road running, you hit the muscles that you hit, and you don't hit anything else
consistently. Yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely think that. I mean, I think my potential stress fracture. I think it's a stress fracture is due to running barefoot. Probably on roads a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And I just overtrained.
Yeah.
I probably just wasn't ready to run that much. But that's the weird thing about the whole shoe debate in running is there is no right answer.
Yeah.
Because nobody... people think there's the right answer.
Yeah.
Right? But we don't really know. Like, no one's done a conclusive study and said, this is better.
Well, and everyone's so different, too. And there's so many different running, you know... I don't know, like our bodies have so many differences from person to person, and there's so many different conditions that you can run in, and some people prefer the feeling of something else over something. So like, there's no way you can make like one shoe and be like, this is the shoe for everybody.
Yeah. And I read something the other day that made a lot of sense, and it was basically that there is no perfect running form. Yeah. Because everyone runs different. Yeah. Because everyone's bodies are different. Yeah. Their hip movement's different. Their flexibility is different. Their shape of their body is different. Yeah, no, it's because I've had injuries in both shoes. So I remember right before I switched to barefoot shoes, I kept on getting injured I had I don't remember what I had, but they were extremely cushioned because a physiotherapist told me to get extremely cushioned shoes. So I got them, and then I got like 2 injuries in the span of a month. And I was like, fuck this, I'm going to get Vivo. I got Vivo Barefoots, which are like the barefoot shoes I run in.
Well, to bring it back to the film, what was your favorite shot throughout that? It's pretty short, and I feel like you could probably count all the different shots.
I was going to say, the whole thing was kind of just like, crazy shots.
Was there anyone that like particularly stood out to you?
I think like the ones that kind of like made me go like, oh shit. Yeah. Is when the ones when he was like running on a ridge and then he just like stops on a edge. Yeah. Like there was like the one spot that you said where it's a little rock kind of hanging off the side that looks like it could break up any moment. He just like jumps onto it. Yeah. Yeah, that one was kind of creepy. Yeah.
I think for me it was the shot where he's running on the ridge. And then it like zooms out to the drone shot, and then he like immediately goes into like a full-on scramble. Oh yeah. So he's not even running anymore. He's like climbing. Yeah. Essentially, like that seems like so much fun to me because I love scrambling in the mountains. Like when you're kind of all like you kind of have to use your hands a bit. Yeah. And like you have exposure. Like that to me is so exhilarating. It's not full-on climbing, but it's getting there. It's getting to that point. Yeah. Like the top of the Golden Hind when you're kind of going up. And then, you know, there's parts where you have to use your you can't
just walk.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just hiking the entire way. Yeah, I love that. What was the most impactful or important part of that film, do you feel like? This is a hard one.
This is a hard one because I feel like that film was just like, look how crazy this guy is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just, I guess it was just like showing you kind of in a way like what's possible as a runner. Like you can run on ridges and do all these crazy things.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have a different perspective on it because I've seen a bunch of videos by this guy. So for me personally, it's just like he is an example of what's possible.
I don't think there was any one particular moment where I was like, oh, this is the most important part or this is whatever.
Yeah.
I think for me, the most important part of that film is look at what you can make with just a GoPro.
Yeah,
that's like, cool.
As a filmmaker, yeah.
That's cool.
You make a really entertaining film.
Because that was really good.
That being said, he was doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So you might have to do crazy stuff.
Definitely.
But yeah.
Don't expect to go out and into your backyard and make something crazy on just a GoPro. But
even though that probably was his backyard.
Yeah,
I think that kind of is
his backyard.
Yeah.
Why should people out there watch this film?
This is because it's just one of those things where you watch and you're like, people do this?
Yeah.
It's like one of those ones where like there's actually insane people out there that run ridges in Norway. Yeah. Because that's one of those things that like if you saw a photo, the average person who doesn't do mountain things saw a photo of that ridge, they would be like, you can't cross that.
Totally.
And then there's a guy running it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why. I think it's again, like I said, like it's one of those things that it like pushes limits.
Yeah. It reminds you that you can always do more with yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an important thing. I feel, especially in my own life, it's important to sort of be reminded of I'm never going to get to a point where I've like mastered something. Yeah. I can always do more. I can always improve. I can always learn something new. And man, I wonder because in my opinion, there's always someone who's going to do something better than you.
Yeah.
So I wonder even with guys like that, I wonder who they sort of look to and who they're inspired by.
I feel like it's people who do equivalent things.
Yeah.
And they're just in like a little not competitive competition.
Totally.
Of like, who can do more?
Yeah, it's like low-key competitive. Because I feel that with photography as well. Like this morning, Gabriel Swift, he made a film about one of my friends from Victoria Landon, and it was really fucking good. And I was like, whoa, this is super sick. It was like really well made. It was 5 minutes. It was short, but it was one of those things where it wasn't so much like I felt like competitive. I wasn't like, oh man, his film's better than mine. Like I need to go make some. It was just kind of like, oh, this is cool and this is inspiring and I want to do something like this.
To do more. Yeah.
So yeah, it's like that group of. It's not necessarily like you're looking up to someone else. It's just you have this like group of people that are doing something similar to you, and I feel like by you doing something cool or them doing something cool, it makes everyone else want to do something cool, and everyone sort of like builds off of each other.
It's crazy.
What did this inspire for you?
I really want to go for a run, but I can't.
Fair.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yes. How did this film inspire you, Dio?
I think it just kind of brings me back to like
the good old
just getting more into running, and you know, definitely since you've been here, like that's inspired me to like start doing more. But wanting to get more into trail running. And I went hiking last night. I went up Mount Benson with my friend Matt. And that was just a hike with like a heavy backpack. And as I was doing that, we were kind of coming down and, you know, we were kind of cruising pretty fast on the way down. It was in my mind. I was like, oh, this is what trail running is like. Except I had like a 30-pound backpack on, which was like pretty heavy. And it just kind of inspired like that want to start actually doing that more. Because I like road running. It is, you know, I do like it. But I feel like trail running is a little bit harder, but it's also way more entertaining.
Yeah, it's like the difficulty is outweighed by how much better it is.
Exactly.
Like it's a little more difficult. There's more hills. You're paying attention the whole time. Yeah. But that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and you're not just like one pace, because I feel like road running can get a bit boring in that you're just going at one pace, or, you know, you should be switching it up. But like for the most part, I usually try and run at one consistent pace. And it's just, you know, if I go out for an hour, you know, I don't know. Sometimes it just seems a little bit boring, especially if I'm doing the same sort of route over and over.
It's a good like mental training thing because you have nothing to focus on other than just to keep going.
Exactly.
But I always will prefer trail running.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Well, this has been a good episode on running and a good film.
It's a great film.
I feel like we kind of covered a lot of topics here.
Impressed with the fact that it was 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Yeah. And it was filmed on GoPro and it was that good.
Yeah, if you want to watch the film, we'll put the link down in this description below. It's pretty good. Take the 4 minutes out of your day. Just try it out. Watch it. Give it a peep.
The whole 4 minutes.
You probably won't come away from it feeling bad.
Because everyone's really busy right now.
Anyways, we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.